Whenever he steps out of his car, it only takes seconds before people crowd around AbuIsrial. These Baghdadis all want their picture with the man who many see as a national hero.
I'm ready to do anything for him. Anything. I swear. You're everything to me.
People worship AbuIsrial, a nom de guerre which literally translates to the father of the angel of death in Arabic. The Shiite militiaman is the most renowned fighter in Iraq. His bravery has turned him into a living legend in a country still in shock after the Islamic State ousted the Iraqi army last summer.
I stand by my words. That's why people prefer having me instead of a dishonest politician who announces measures on TV but does nothing.
AbuIsrial has spent all night in Fallujah district fighting the Islamic State organization. In the trunk lies his equipment, always at hand.
Wow. That's an M4 with a grenade launcher. These are explosives. A grenade, a smoke bomb. This is another smoke bomb. All this is nothing to me. It's all peanuts.
AbuIsrial is a regular at this gym. He comes to work out, but more importantly, to meet up with his brothers in arms. The atmosphere is light-hearted, yet these bodybuilders all belong to a Shiite militant group backed by Iran.
We belong to the Imam Ali brigades. We've been training in Lebanon with Hezbollah and in the Islamic Republic of Iran. This training's been going on for a long time. We've been practicing for years on the streets of Iraq.
AbuIsrial is a well-seasoned fighter. The 37-year-old picked up weapons for the first time more than 10 years ago. Back in the 2000s, he was fighting against the United States. At the time, he was on their list of wanted terrorists. Since then, the front lines have shifted. The US now supports AbuIsrail's militia in their fight against the jihadists.
He's the Iraqi Rambo, the Daesh killer.
The Iraqi Rambo, a nickname owed to these movies which he shot with his mobile phone and posted online on social media. Illa Tahin, grind you to dust, a war cry he first used last March. In a couple of weeks, it reached more than 2 million views. AbuIsrial soon posted another video. His slogan was echoed by thousands of people. A warning to the jihadi group that went viral beyond the borders of Iraq, Spain, Sweden and even Thailand. Even a cartoon was made to present the new face of the fight against terrorism. The militiaman is seen defending the oppressed. Here, he beats up a major leader from the Islamic State organization. His brigade has made him the star of its Hollywood-like propaganda movies. This morning, AbuIsrial is all geared up on his way to the front line. He's armed with grenades, a rifle, but also 2 high-tech smartphones that he films with at all times. A way to reach out to his fans from the battlefield.
We're heading for the front line. Guys don't think we're just here to take pictures. Look over there, the smoke coming out of the refinery. You see, that's Daesh's flag.
He immediately shares his videos on the internet in order to counter jihadist propaganda.
I'm checking with Facebook. It's the official AbuIsrial page. I have 221,000 followers. We're here to film, to send a message to the enemy. They're only here to kill and destroy, and they film all of it. So what we do is the same. We film ourselves defending the Iraqi people.
A propaganda battle between armed groups fought here, 150 kilometers north of Baghdad, in Salahuddin province. On both sides of this road, jihadi territory.
Daesh is about 500 meters away, in this building here. Do you see it? Over there in the distance. Now we're entering a very dangerous area. We're surrounded by Daesh. We only control the road. Don't be surprised if you hear gunshots.
The fighter regularly meets army generals. They called on him to secure the country's main oil refinery, Bagdadi. They say this mission would be impossible without the support of the Shiite militias. The Iraqi Rambo is quickly surrounded by soldiers who all leave their positions and clamor to take selfies.
Daesh just needs to hear the name of AbuIsrial, and they run away from this place. They run.
The high-ranking officers hope that the militiamen will be able to put some enthusiasm back into their demotivated troops. Morale is low. The army just lost Ramadi, the capital of the largest province of the country.
He's a key person to lift the spirits of our troops.
While we're filming, we hear gunfire exchanges. The army doesn't move, but the first ones to head to the fight are AbuIsrial and his fighters. The Islamic State organization appears to be making an effort to infiltrate. The army tells us they're just behind this sand dune. Soldiers follow the militia's lead, trying to imitate their hero, or at least film him. The enemy is out of sight, entrenched behind these houses on the other side. The tank's machine guns start firing, and eventually, gunshots cease. AbuIsrial says it's best we leave. Over the past year, the Islamic State organization has lost a third of its territory, mostly thanks to the Shiite warriors. But at what cost? In the freed zones, international organizations are now talking about war crimes. We travel to Tikrit, the symbol of the Shiite militia's victories. A deadly battle last March left thousands dead and the city deserted. 200,000 people, mainly Sunni, have left what used to be one of the richest cities of the country. Impossible for them to return without an authorization signed by the new rulers, the Shiite militias. To pass the numerous checkpoints, a militiaman accompanies us. Mahmoud, 19, a history student who has traded his books for a Kalashnikov. No one came back here.
No, not to Tikrit.
Really? No one?
No one has come back to Tikrit. Well, yes, there's this one old lady who stayed living in her house.
Amidst the chaos, behind this door, lives one of Tikrit's last residents. An isolated, elderly woman who has known the Islamic State organization's rule and the arrival of the Shiite fighters.
What do you want?
Where are the Daesh guys?
Leave me alone, it's hot outside.
Did these Islamists visit you? Did they come to see you, yes or no?
No.
Although the fighters pretend to have freed the inhabitants, she refuses to let our guide in.
I swear to you, they left this place.
Hangings on street corners, summary executions in broad daylight. Amnesty International has gathered numerous testimonies of retaliation carried out by the militias against Tikrit's population and in other regions with a Sunni majority. The militiamen strongly deny the accusations.
When we took back the city, we killed many Daesh fighters. It was a fierce battle. Maybe there were other victims. 1 or 2 people during the fights. You know how these things go.
These armed groups are financed by Iran, but also by the Iraqi state and the US, an official force of 120,000 men that attracts increasing numbers of young recruits and sometimes even teenagers, like this boy, Mustafa, who's barely 16.
I've wanted to be a sniper for a long time. When there were parties, there was always a gun by my side. And during the training, I passed all my tests. My toys today are my weapons.
Isn't he a bit young to fight a war?
He's the one who wants to.
When he came here, we told him it better be sure, because he would most probably die. He told us, I came to fight with you. I'm sure. I'm ready to die. I'm ready to die.
Cannon fodder sent to the forefront of the battles before the 200,000-strong Iraqi army. In Baghdad, the capital, people try to forget the constant conflict, but the security walls and the checkpoints are reminders of its proximity. Baghdadis don't hesitate to defy suicide bombings, buying groceries as if nothing is happening. Here too, there is the feeling that they are under the protection of a new hero, AbuIsrial.
Come in, come in.
In an exceptional move, our fighter invites us to his home with his family.
This is my whole family, my children and my grenades. I taught them how to pull the pin off in case Daesh comes.
One last meal in the family's living room. He will soon head off to the battlefront again. In this simple home, the only decoration consists of religious books and this portrait of Ayatollah Khomeini. These militias obey Iranian religious leaders more than their own government. AbuIsrial says he's ready to pursue his war beyond the borders of Iraq.
If the Imam tells us to march on Saudi Arabia, on Mecca, we'll go. If we have to go to Yemen to help our Houthi brothers, I'll go. All we ask for is to fall as martyrs and have a decent end, and God willing, I'll die a martyr, or we win.
Words that do little to calm the international community's fears that these fighters today are merely a Shiite version of jihadism.
Oh, my love, my love.
It's time for this father to head back to the front lines. Whether as a fighter or simple morale booster, history will tell. And for how long? Hard to say in a country that has been at war for the past 12 years. Baghdadis seem resigned to the sight of armored tanks patrolling their city streets.